Florida is bracing for Hurricane Milton right now. This system is a Category 4 hurricane churning in the Gulf, as you see here. Sustained winds of 155 miles per hour.
Natural disasters are a fact of life, and they could happen across many different areas in the United States. We just recently here in Florida had Hurricane Helene approximately 2 weeks ago. It went all the way up into the Panhandle, but it brought a lot of surge water to the southwest side of Florida.
Also in Tampa, this man going viral for kayaking in his flooded home. Some people watching the now viral video saying, "This is Florida man."
It also went into Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina. It brought so much rain. I mean, just look at what happened in Asheville.
In the city of Asheville, streets are still underwater. Neighborhoods unrecognizable.
No matter where in the United States, it's very likely that at one point or another, some kind of a natural disaster, it could happen. I think it's very important that people become very cognizant of what types of natural disasters are prone to happen in an area and how to mitigate the risk. And I think that when it comes to Florida, for example, a lot of you that are going to want to still move in here, you're going to become much smarter about how to look for the right home in the right location. Right now in Sarasota, we have been asked to evacuate levels A, B, and C, evacuation zone A, B, and C. I am in evacuation zone B, and tomorrow I'm heading over into D. Hurricane Milton is not expected to arrive until approximately tomorrow midday into the evening. It's over on the Gulf water. It was a Category 5, then it went down to a 4, and I think now it's back to a 5, but eventually expected to make landfall at a Category 3. Hopefully, we would want it to be lower versus higher. The higher the category, the higher the wind level.
Now moving towards the east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Latest track again still has it weakening down to a 4 as we go through tomorrow afternoon. And then we're still talking about that landfall late Wednesday night.
Now, what's really concerning about this storm is the amount of surge water that it's expected to bring all throughout Southwest Florida, but with the highest amount really coming from Tampa down to Sarasota. We don't know exactly where that storm is going to hit. There's prediction models out there, and they kind of point towards Tampa and south of Tampa. It could even be Sarasota. And I don't think we're really going to know until maybe a few hours beforehand. I would say the one advantage of the prediction models is that they can predict these hurricanes over a week out.
Area here is going to be different from Helene. Potential of some development in the same area to start, but there are more variables in play.
So when it comes to preparation for these types of events here in Florida, we have ample of opportunity. And I must say that the local government has done a tremendous job keeping us informed.
We know that finding your evacuation level can be confusing, and people get confused with flood zones, which are a different level of flooding and more tied to your insurance and FEMA flood zones.
Making sure that those people who needed to evacuate, that those evacuation requests are being sent out in time. There's evacuation centers that are being opened for people to go into in case they don't have a friend or maybe a hotel to move into. So when it comes to preparation of these types of disasters here in Florida, our local officials really know what they're doing because they've been through a lot of these hurricanes. What's really unfortunate about Hurricane Milton is not just the fact that it's considered 1 in 100-year type of hurricane just based on the sheer strength of this hurricane, which apparently, and this is according to scientists, has to do with just very warm Gulf waters. Hurricane season is from June 1st up until November 30th. This one is already coming very late, but also it's at a strength that is just unreal. It's also coming at one of the worst timing because there was just a lot of damage done during Hurricane Helene, especially here in Sarasota when it comes to the surges. People have to clean out their homes. Just imagine your home gets flooded. Pretty much anything that the flood water touches needs to be taken out. Drywall, if there is a foot of drywall that got wet, well, you're gonna have to remove way more than that. your carpeting, your flooring is going to have to come out. Personal belongings might have gotten wet. You got to throw those out. Kitchens might have to be completely remodeled. So when you drive through the Keys, and I was just there last week, there is debris in front of pretty much everyone's homes. I would say that over 50% of Siesta Key got flooded. Condos, first floors got flooded, homes. It's just insane. A lot of dirt all around. Look at all these homes and how they're just cleaning everything out. Very, very sad. And I can't even imagine the emotional toll that it's taken on somebody knowing that they've essentially lost everything that was inside of their house, especially a home that was completely flooded. And right now, with Hurricane Milton coming in at a possible wind speed level of 125 miles per hour, depending on where it's going to hit in Southwest Florida. We don't know exactly where, but the fact is it's going to bring a lot of wind. Those pieces of materials that are in front of people's homes, debris, they're going to become missiles. So it's going to make this storm even more dangerous, along with the fact that it is going to bring a very strong wind, and there is an opportunity for major wind damage as well, especially in the immediate center that it's going to hit. So I have to say, this is one of those storms that is concerning. It's scary, it really is. There are ways of mitigating the risk, and that is by not being as close to the coast, by being further away from the beaches possibly. We'll get into that in another video, but I just want you guys to have an update from somebody that's actually going through this right now. I have to say that the community has gotten really close together. People are texting each other, they're calling each other, they're sharing information online. We're really well informed, and it really is up to all of us to make the best decision. And so if you're somebody that's actually on the southwest side of Florida right now and you're going to be impacted by this storm, you've been asked to evacuate, please do so. Those professionals really know what they're doing, and it's not fair to be in an evacuation zone, asked to evacuate, and then call for help later, because you're actually putting the first responders at risk. Now, I do understand that, especially during Hurricane Helene, there were a lot of instances where people didn't evacuate. They had health issues, they had mobility issues. So I believe that this time around, the county has done a better job at making sure that they were taken care of, at the very least being able to bring them into an evacuation zone, which we have a few to evacuate to in case someone doesn't have a friend to go to in a safer area, or maybe a hotel to evacuate to. So tomorrow I'm evacuating. I'm going to a higher level. The surge is expected to get to about 16 feet above sea level. My home is just above that. It's in a zone B, so I would have evacuated anyways, but I absolutely will evacuate. We have to worry about the surge. Who knows? It could absolutely flood in my home. So right now what we're doing is, before we leave, the electricity is going to be shut down. I'm putting everything that I feel is of value on top of my tables, including the computer that I'm using to record this video, of course. Just trying to get this house as ready as possible. I'm also making sure that all interior doors are shut inside of the home, just to ensure that the pressure is much more localized inside of the house. Then we'll see what happens on Friday. But what is pretty obvious right now, just based on the estimations, is that this is going to be not a good event. It will bring a lot of destruction across the southwest side of Florida, especially the Keys. And so Siesta Key, Anna Maria Island Key, Longboat Key, St. Pete Beach. This is the one time I wish these climate data geeks would get it all wrong, and that the storm really just dissipated before it even made landfall. They tend to do a really good job at estimating the impact that a hurricane tropical storm will have in a certain area. And so tomorrow night, many of us are not going to be able to go to sleep, but if we did, either way, we'll wake up in the morning. We'll see what the destruction is like, not just around us, but also on the Keys. We may not hear it right away, because if we lose power, it could be for days, it could be for weeks. But with this surge, it's possibly 16 feet. That's the worst case scenario I've heard today. If that happens, that seems to be almost 3 times as bad as what we had during Hurricane Helene. And at 4 to 6 feet, it brought a lot of destruction on the Keys. And so my heart goes out to everybody that loves the Keys, that owns a home there. Please don't be on the Keys. Please don't be on the Keys. Just leave. Thank you so much for watching today. You can actually do me a favor, and that is I'm going to link to a donation place, and the donation is going to go to those people who are going to be in the most need of essential supplies. No donation is too small. It could be $1, it could be $2, it could be $3, it could be $5. The more people donate, the more it's going to add up. That's just a fact. And again, 100% of that I'm going to give to those people who need it most.